about to get paid in a couple of years too. So he's like,
Hell
fuck
yeah.
it.
He had a fucking banging of a year, bro. Rookie guy,
That's what
an
I'm saying.
amazing year.
Give it 2 years. Give it 2 more years, and he'll be the highest paid.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, the way that this is trending, it seems like every quarterback gets paid the year before their rookie deal's up.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if he's playing like this at the time they give it to him, yeah, it'll probably be like,
Yeah.
I mean, what, upwards of 3
You might as
in
well.
2
You're right.
years.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But hey guys, welcome to another episode of Trust Sports. Before we get into it, please go to the YouTube and subscribe. We see that there's people who aren't subscribed to YouTube but watch, so hit that subscribe button for us. But what's going on, my guy? What's good, Liam?
Hell yeah. What's up, Lee? We got it was a fun weekend of football. I
Yes, sir.
know we're recording Tuesday as we always do. So we're
Yeah.
coming off of a 70-point masterpiece from the
Yeah.
best player in the world, Joel Embiid, on our Sixers.
Yeah.
We'll get into that, but man, that
Yeah.
was it's reasons like that. Yeah, that's why you watch sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to
Yeah.
see cool events happen like last night with Joel Embiid, like it reminds you a little bit why we do this and why we
Mhm.
even talk about it, because obviously
Yeah.
our football teams don't give us any reason. So that was nice to see.
But okay, it doesn't matter though. I would say we don't have the biggest heartbreak for now. So we'll throw it up there. But you want to jump right into the Texans Ravens game?
Yeah. I guess let's start with
Okay.
that, man.
Okay.
Javon's cockiness. Just when you thought Von's cockiness couldn't get any higher, man, it's at an all-time high.
Yeah.
For good reason, though, bro. I mean, you kind of look at this game, and it was a weird first half, I think. You know, you went into halftime tied up at 10, but it was one of those tied up at 10s where you had to sit back and say to yourself, Texans offense hasn't really done anything. I mean,
No.
they scored 3 points the entire game, and it was like that at half as well. And it felt like it was that one seed who had the week off. I think they rested all their starters in week, what's that, 17 or 18. So,
Yeah.
like, they had 2 weeks where they didn't play. And then they came out in the second half like, all right, let's just flex our muscles a little bit. Let's get out of here with the win. Like, worry about next week. But
Oh,
I
because
mean,
it was the punt return, right? Is the reason they
it was the
scored.
punt return touchdown.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
So the
that's
second half, it was just
as a fan, as a fan, you're watching that game. I always say this with the Cowboys. Or if I watch any team really, if I see a team not being able to score, but they score in other ways, I kind of automatically know game's over. Because like if you see a team score off like a deep bomb, like how we scored against the Lions with CD Lamb with that deep bomb, that was just a blown coverage. It's not going to happen again, right? Like you're not going to be able to, if you can't drive down the field, that play can't happen every drive, right? So you automatically know, oh shit, something's going to figure it out. Like Lamar's going to figure. I mean, Lamar was in the tunnel before even halftime even began, right? He was ready to lock back in and get it back in. Like if you watch the Ravens, you could say this with so many quarterbacks. Not really. You could say this with like Tom Brady and stuff like that, but like I don't even know. I never watched Tom Brady and said the reason the Patriots are winning is because of Tom Brady. I saw that with Tampa Bay for sure, but with that Tampa Bay defense. But watching the Ravens, you say, if you take Lamar off that team, the Ravens are nothing. Like Lamar, and again, I'm not saying that they suck. No way, shape, or fashion. Lamar is just so fucking good, bro, that it's like last year, the fact that the Ravens were not trying to pay him. Are you fucking kidding me?
I know.
Like, this should be a slap in the face. Like, in a couple years, my contract's up. I'm going to come back to him again. You give me whatever the fuck I want. Like, Lamar is so – I love the fact that he curses his players out when he gets tackled. And he's like, I could have fucking – like, make your fucking blocks. Like, I love that he gets in their ass.
You can tell, right?
Yeah, you see
– like when he's on the ground, like slapping the ball or slapping his helmet, I'm like, dude, he wants to go for 80 every single time.
Yeah, I love his ability. But that Ravens team as a whole, it's like it's all in. If they all know that, not for nothing, it's like this is the perfect recipe of the year. The Cowboys are out of it. The Eagles are out of it. The fucking Patrick Mahomes isn't playing his best ball. At that time, the Bills aren't playing their best ball. Fucking the Cincinnati's Joe Burrow's coming back next season. This is the season of, it's not a walk in, but this is when we have to get it done. Like it's not like we have to, like, yeah, you're grinding to get it done, but the path is a lot easier this year than it probably will ever be for Lamar this year. This is the year to get it. And I guess he showed us up. He got his playoff win for you.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I mean, that's what everyone says, right?
Yeah.
And it was fair. Like, he struggled in the playoffs, but I got to ask now. So where we're at, and we'll touch on the championship games a little bit later, but let's just say Lamar does win and gets to the Super Bowl. And let's say he wins it. Where does that put him with quarterbacks today? Top 3? Is he the best? Do you put him over Mahomes? Because you got to think, at the end of this year, right, you're looking at he'll win another MVP. He'll win the MVP this year. So that's 2
Sure.
MVPs. If he wins a Super Bowl, you would assume he would get Super Bowl MVP as well.
Yeah.
And he had to beat Mahomes to get to that point. You know Von's going to be saying it, but where would you
Yeah.
put him on your list?
You don't put him. Patrick's number one. Like it's just you
I
just
agree.
can't top.
I agree.
You can't top a guy that's every season he started has been the AFC Championship. Like even if he does not win the Super Bowl, I mean, how many does Patrick have? 2 or 3?
I think
Super Bowl
2.
wins.
2 right now.
He has 2 Super Bowls, and this is a guy that this year who I'm saying like if he gets to the Super Bowl, I'm go to him because that team was nothing, right? Like that team is all Patrick Mahomes at the end of the day. Like that is what I'm saying. You go him. It's Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. That all time in like my eyes right now, like of what we have been able to see, right? Like
exactly.
Now Lamar, I think I put him at number 2. I mean, who's your top 3?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to put him at top 2. Like he's number 2 for me. Coming off of Jalen, if Jalen Hurts had a year like Lamar had, it would go that like it would. You know what I mean? It would be those 3. It would be It would be damn the 3 Black Kings rise to the top. Like that would be crazy to see 3 black quarterbacks top 3. Like you know what I mean? Like that's a possibility. But I just don't. I think it's just up in the air for who's that 3rd slot in my eyes. Who would you pick at that 3rd slot? Gotta throw Dak in there.
Yeah, Dak probably 3, Brock Purdy 4, yeah. Now I think I don't know. I'm trying to think like off the top of my head. I feel like we're going to be missing somebody, but would 3 just be Joe Burrow at that point? I mean, I know he got banged up this year, but
yeah,
I mean, you talked about already. This is a year for the Ravens to get it. Like this was the year for the Chiefs to have really their worst team for Patrick Mahomes to get to the A. Like if Joe Burrow's around, who knows what the season looks like? But probably him at 3. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Lamar at that point, if he wins it all this year, he's second best quarterback in the league. And you're right. At that point, nobody's going to beat out Patrick Mahomes for the top spot. Like it's almost like Mahomes is tier 1, everyone else. So I think Lamar gets number 2. But that team, and we'll touch on the Niners-Packers game next. Like it seemed like the Ravens and Niners were kind of on this collision course. And they were both the 1 seed. They both had the week off. The weather was both a little shaky. And again, like we'll touch on Brock Purdy and the Niners, but it doesn't matter with Lamar. Like you said, it doesn't matter if he has a receiver go down. They are on fucking Dalvin Cook at running back at this point. Like they're on their 4th and 5th string running backs. Doesn't matter. The defense is insane. I mean, they just fly around. Like they're constantly on the ball. They don't miss tackles. They hit you and they make you feel it. And it feels like this is the team that probably should win the Super Bowl. And again, we'll touch on it. Like now you got to go up against one of the greatest of all time, Patrick Mahomes. If you can get past that, I don't know who from the NFC would beat them, but because they look incredible. They look like the strongest team left.
Do you watch the one Ravens player? I don't know his name. He has a podcast now. He just had OBJ on it recently. And like that's another thing too. It's like Odell Beckham like is playing his ball. Like he's balling up now. Like it's all the guys you're like, it's crazy. Mahomes starting getting that Tom Brady hate. He's starting to get that. I'm tired of seeing him in that Super Bowl. I'm tired of seeing him in the Super Bowl. Like everyone's tired of the Patriots. I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs. I was like, I'm not tired of it. Like I don't mind either way. I mean, if I'm the Eagles fan, of course I don't want to fucking see it. But I'm okay. Like I'm like he deserves it. He's fucking in there. Yeah. But seeing this Ravens team, everyone is on like the Ravens train because they do not want to see Patrick Mahomes win another one, right? Like that. When you reach that status, that's GOAT.
Yeah. It's largely Mahomes, but it's like sprinkled in all the Taylor Swift bullshit. And people definitely hate on like the Kelsey's podcast just because how big it got so quickly. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean the Chiefs have turned into the most hated team in the NFL, I think, right now, pretty quickly. But no, I mean, I think Taylor. It's also exactly. Yeah. But I think it is also like people love Lamar. Like there's no reason not to. Yeah. So they'll definitely be rooting for him. But it's going to be interesting to see can the Chiefs, and again, we'll touch on it, but man, the Ravens fucking look great. And again, you're talking about CJ Stroud. There was 2 games this year that they didn't score an offensive touchdown. Week 1 against the Ravens and this past week against the Ravens. Yeah. And like we just talked about CJ Stroud, like fuck man, you could make an argument to put him in like top 6 right now quarterbacks. Oh, yeah. Like who else would you rather have?
Yeah.
And the Ravens defense both times, especially when it mattered.
Yeah.
It was just not there. It was non-existent.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it a little bit, but you brought it up. I wanted to talk to you about. No, I'll save it. Let's. You want to move on to the next game? What next game you want to talk about?
Yeah, let's do the other 1 seed, the Packers Niners. So the Niners, by the skin of their teeth,
oh my,
make it through. In my eyes, like you said this, right? Like you take a look at both 1 seeds, and we talked about the Texans kept it close in the first half, but it was by a punt return touchdown. You knew they weren't moving the ball. This was the opposite. Packers were in this the entire time because they could move the ball, because their
Yes.
defense was stopping the offense.
Defense.
I'll touch on my thoughts. You know my thoughts, but I'll get
Okay.
into it. The Niners have been crowned like the best team in the league from preseason throughout the entire year. And I keep trying to tell you every week there's a recipe to beat them. And the Packers followed that recipe, but had like 2 or 3 main fuck ups. If they had 1 fuck up, they probably would have won by a touchdown. But
Yeah.
I'll start with you. Because to be fair, going into this game too, you probably would have had the Niners pegged as your NFC favorite.
Yeah.
Where does this put them now after this Packers game, especially the way that the Lions look?
I texted my boy. I said, I would have rather you get that heartbreak this week than what you're going to experience next week. This is a team that is not fucking good by any means. You mean to tell me Debo goes down and now it's like, oh, Debo goes down. Well, hopefully we play amazingly better next week. Like he's going to be
like he may not play again.
But he's the reason. So you're telling me Purdy needs McCaffrey, fucking Kittle. He needs fucking Debo. He needs what's called the other wire that's been balling the fuck out.
Yeah,
Ayuk. Then he needs an amazing defense.
On the line. Like he needs the line to protect him.
He needs an amazing defense to win a game. Like, are you fucking shitting me? Like, if Indy proved you more than I don't know why everyone's like sticking up for Purdy now. Like he makes him like everyone's sticking up for Purdy this week, right? No, Purdy like got bailed out. He got bailed out by a young Packers team with a young quarterback that made more mistakes than that entire San Francisco team did make. I'm telling you right now, if it wasn't Detroit, I'll be more dead set on you lose next week if it was anyone else. Like dead set of 100%, I'm betting the line that San Francisco loses, but it's still Detroit for me. So it's like I kind of have hard stand against that. But it's like no matter what you look at that game, you say there's one outcome. Love is the truth. Love is going to be here for a while. He's going to be like that team will beat San Francisco from here on out. Like
the whole team, bro. The whole team. I just learned. I heard a stat earlier today. Sorry to cut you off, but Love obviously is on his rookie deal. He'll get paid whatever.
Yeah.
There were 9 players that caught a pass against the Niners on the Packers. 8 of the 9
rookies
are either a rookie or a second-year player. Yeah. Like they're going to be good for a while.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are saying like Packers fans are like, hey, we were like what a bottom seed team. We were like we just wanted to see what it could be. I'm sorry, no. You get the W. No. You pull it out. Like you beat the Cowboys. You can beat the 49ers. You're in the Super Bowl. If you can go now, like this, that's a Super Bowl run.
Yeah,
you can't say,
agree.
You can't say my expectations were low. They exceeded my expectations. I'm happy with the season. No, because it still is hard to get back here. Because again, next year the next couple of years you have, let's say Dallas figures it out. Let's say fucking the Eagles figure it out. It's fucking hard. Like you're lucky to be back in this position again. Get the fuck done. Love. Why throw that fucking pass? Why? Like that's that rookie shit that's gonna haunt him forever if he doesn't get back. If he doesn't get back for a game, that will haunt you. But that San Francisco team, and we've been saying it all year, Liam, of like, I don't get why teams can't beat San Francisco. Like I just don't understand. They're not that great of a team. Just fucking and that was the first time I think I've seen them come back down, right? Like they were down in the beginning.
It was the first time. So we text about that Shanahan stat. I think it was like 5 or more points going into the fourth. That's the first time in 39 games that he won.
Finally. And again, he had to do it against a rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? They're like,
at
just
home,
fucking blew it.
Off rest. Exactly. Who blew it? And a kicker, not only that he blew it, a kicker that blew a 40-yard kick that should have had it going to overtime. Worst case.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
But I'm worried. So I had a couple points about this game. Number one, you can call me crazy. If you put Kirk Cousins or your boy Dak on the Niners, they put up 40+. Easy.
Think so?
Easy. And it's not even like the Packers defense was playing a lot better from what they were towards the end of the season. Yeah. Mind you, Malik, this is a team that let up 30 to the Bryce Young Panthers like 3 weeks ago. Like it just happened. They are a good unit. And it wasn't that they were playing at such a high level. It was more like Purdy was missing McCaffrey in the flat. Like he was overthrowing receivers that were 5 yards down the field. And I don't want to hear about rain. That like welcome to football. Like it rains sometimes.
Yeah.
I really think that, like, again, name me a quarterback right now. You put him on the Niners. That game's a blowout. Yeah, it is. A lot of hate is going towards Purdy and a lot of love. But we've been talking about what Brock Purdy is. Like, he is the J.J. McCarthy. He's just on the most talented team in the NFL. And
Yeah.
truthfully, if you put 28 other quarterbacks on the Niners, they probably walk to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
My worry now is on Kyle Shanahan. And it's kind of the thing that you mentioned. Like, Deebo Samuel, he does it all. He is a great football player, but he goes down and that offense looks like it's nothing anymore. And I wrote down, I think it was a couple plays after, maybe the second or third play after Deebo Samuel went down, they ran a jet sweep with Jawan Jennings out of the backfield. Now, what does that tell me?
Yeah.
No adjustments are being made. That play was scripted for Deebo. Deebo's out. The guy who's in for Deebo's injury, just plug and play. Lost like 2 yards.
Yeah.
Also, this is a Kyle Shanahan, but also I think a Brock Purdy trust thing. Do you remember how the end of the first half mattered? They had 3-4 minutes left on the clock, 2 or 3 timeouts. Niners had the ball. Malik, they played it safe for a field goal. They were running out the clock once they got in field goal range to just kick a field. Like, you were at home. You were the best team in the league all year, and you're telling me with 3-4 minutes left and 2-3 timeouts that you don't even want to try to work down the field to kind of get that double dip, and then you go 3 and out coming out of halftime. Yeah. Like, we've seen Shanahan. He was the OC for the Falcons when they blew 28-3.
Yeah.
He was on the Niners team that blew the 7 or 10 point lead in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. He was the guy who just couldn't alter a game plan against the Green Bay Packers at home off of an off week when really his third or fourth best offensive player went down. Imagine if McCaffrey gets hurt, bro, that team won't know how to score.
Yeah.
Because without him, they are nothing.
We said that so many weeks ago, like, and I felt the same thing with Michigan. Like, you're like, they do not trust their quarterback at all. They played safe with everyone else besides that quarterback. And that if I'm Brock Purdy, you know that. Deep down in your heart, you know that they do not trust me to let's go out here. And let's just say you want to put, all right, San Francisco fans, you want to say, like, we don't have to use Brock Purdy. He's like, whatever. Why would he throw? I saw comments like, why would he throw the ball? When it comes down to it, there's going to be a time in which it's crucial to where you have to trust in Brock Purdy. Do you trust in Brock Purdy to get you that W? Do I trust in Dak to get me that W? You're in the same position as the fucking Cowboys are with the quarterback like that at the wheelhouse. Like, I would trust more in Kirk Cousins than I would in Brock Purdy to fucking get me down the field. Like, at the end of the day, like I completely agree. We've been saying that all year. Yeah.
I truthfully wouldn't be surprised if the Niners lose this game. Kirk Cousins, I think, is a free agent. Like, I wouldn't be surprised for him to go out and get him. I just saw a report come out the other day, which interesting timing, isn't it? When Brock Purdy shits the bed, that they contacted Tom Brady in the offseason.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Like, don't you think that's weird? All season long, we didn't hear a thing. And then the one time Purdy has a bad game, they almost blow a playoff game. Yeah. That's when the reports come out. Things get leaked when people want them to get leaked.
Yeah.
But no, I think, look, you even talk about, like, to Purdy's credit, that last drive for the touchdown, like, he did his thing, did what he needed to do. But you're talking about that's a drive coming off of a short field because the Packers missed the field goal that should have put them up 7. And then the Packers had a minute 30 left with 2 timeouts. Like you said, if Jordan Love doesn't make that throw, they probably go down and tie it at the very least. And now you're welcoming in a Lions team, which has shown us, dude, like they're legit.
Yeah.
If you play like that again, they aren't going to make those same mistakes. Jared Goff's not going to make that same mistake, and you're gonna lose.
That shit pissed me off so bad. It's such a rookie fucking mistake to do. Like, you have so much time left, bro. Throw it away. Like, you have so much time left, bro. Like, I don't know if it was like second or third down. Too.
Like, it was not.
Like, it was like, I was just like, fuck, man. Like, you don't make that throw. Like, you don't do that. And it was like everything you don't do. Throw across your body, on the run, deep down the field. Like, he just threw it. It's like, fuck, man. You were trying to be Superman. And every quarterback, once I hear that in a pregame speech, Lamar said the same thing too. He's and Patrick said this too, going into, I think, when not the Super Bowl, he last one, the one before that. He said, I had to learn that it's okay. I don't have to be Superman. Take what they give me and go down. Yeah. Once you hear a quarterback say that, I say this is a new style quarterback. They're going to win that game because he knows I do not have to be Superman. Take what they give me. If not, punt, take the field goal, move on to the next series. And that's exactly what Lamar did. And Love, I hope you get back for your sake because that's going to haunt you, brother.
It was such a heat check throw because like the entire game against the Niners, like even the one interception he had wasn't all on him before that, but that was definitely like I've been getting away with like off the back foot throws thrown across my body. I think I can get this done. And again, like you said, in his mind, he definitely thought if I do complete this pass and we go down and win this game, everybody's going to be talking about that. Everybody. And for good reason.
Yeah.
But no, he's legit. But to your point, man, this is when we talked about like the reason why last year the Eagles losing the Super Bowl was so hard was because like this is why I told you like this was the year. You never know what's going to happen. This was the year. So
Yeah.
when you don't get it done, like again, look at the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, were they going to get back to the Super Bowl? Did we all think? Maybe not. But did you ever in a million years think this year would happen?
Yeah.
No way. So
Yeah.
the league is on a year-to-year basis. And again, the Packers are set up very well. But just like you said, Cowboys are going to be there. Eagles are going to be there. Niners are going to continue to be there.
Yeah.
The Lions are fucking there. The Bucks look pretty decent. You know what I mean? Like, and there's always a surprise team or two. What if Caleb Williams, he'll go to the Bears? They're going to be there. So that division is going to be brutal. And this you're right. This could have been the year.
It doesn't it piss you off though, being like a Cowboys Eagles fan, being like, how the fuck is Tampa Bay and Detroit like putting up a fight in these games in which our teams probably could have edged it out if they just fucking stood the fuck up and played tough.
Maybe your team, not at that point. My team wasn't beating.
No, like Carolina. I'm just saying, no. If that didn't happen, like if the fall didn't happen 6 weeks in, like of course we're playing what if games, but it's like if we could just fucking get it done, bro. Like look at that road. Like if Tampa Bay and the Lions can figure out, why not us? It's like that's the shit that fucking. And you know why? Fucking coaching. That's what it was like. It's just fucking coaching, bro. Look at the head coaches now that are in those games. That's what it boils down to, bro. It fucking pisses me off. But speaking of great coaches, you want to get to that Tampa Bay Detroit game?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, the Lions pulled out 31-23. We'll touch on the Lions Niners, but going back to this Lions Bucks game, all the credit in the world to Dan Campbell. All the credit in the world, like coaching staff and their front office, like the team that they've put together to get to this point. Like you were watching it, and I agree with you because I was thinking, it's the good story of the year. Yeah. You know, it's Jared Goff. He beat his old team. That's pretty cool. And, you know, the Lions crowd, it's really loud. So, like, that's really neat. Dude, they got fucking dogs up and down this roster on both sides of the ball. And the way that Dan Campbell coaches, like somebody brought this point up. He's so like a intense in your face dude. But if you watch him on the sidelines, he's calm as can be. Like he knows he has control of that entire game. And if you're not a direct like Niners fan or Chiefs or Ravens fan, I don't know how you don't root for the Lions at this point.
Yeah,
but you have to.
Yeah, it's just so weird seeing the Lions. I mean, the stat hit right away of like
it really is weird
that the Lions have more playoff victories and NFC championship appearances than Cowboys in the last 20 years. I'm like, here we fucking go. Congrats, one great year in 20 years. Like, congrats to the organization and to the fucking people of Detroit who have had to live their life in just misery for the last 20 years. But watching that game, I knew at some point it was going to happen. I mean, versus the Eagles, that Baker Mayfield was going to make a crucial mistake and throw a pick. I mean, Baker Mayfield should have had 4 picks just in the postseason alone, right? And it happened at the most crucial point in the game in which he throws that pick. And I know you wanted to talk about it, like that Tampa Bay, like why didn't he call timeout and have them try to kick the field goal? I mean, it's fucking your team's defeated. I mean, the Lions defeated Tampa Bay that entire fucking game. That defense was fucking relentless. The way they play on all aspects and seeing them be able to move the ball. I mean, Jared Goff didn't look like Jared Goff how he used to look back in the day, like when he was with LA. Like he didn't look like that guy no more. Like Jared Goff is like an improved quarterback that made amazing throws, and they were able to score anytime they got close to the red zone. I mean, any way possible, they were able to score, and they had that confidence. I mean, they had that confidence with the Cowboys of being like, "Yo, we're going for 2, let's fucking go. Yo, we're going for 2, let's go for dough." And again, Dan Quinn having the balls to be like, "Yo." I said, I was like, if they don't win this game, I forget what it was that he did. I think he went for not.
I think it was like a 4th and goal, like early in the game. When they might have been down,
and they didn't get it right.
Yeah.
Oh no, they did. They did get it. They did get it.
Yeah, you know what? That's what it was. So it was a 10-10 game, and they had at the 1-yard line, like 4th and goal, and they put in their 3rd string running back who just pounded right in. And it's even shit like that where not only are you going for it, but you're making the right calls. Like you have 2 legit running backs on that roster. Neither of them are in. Yeah. Anytime now you put an extra lineman in who's reporting as eligible, all eyes are on that dude after the Cowboys game. But you're right, because the one thing that always separated, and I'll tie back to the Eagles last year, the one thing that made them so good was they knew how to bury a team. When you had the ball, even if it was a close game towards the end, you knew you were either going to be doing enough to run that clock out or at a score that was going to make it near impossible. And that's exactly what the Lions did. In the 4th quarter, it was a 24-17 game. The Lions got the ball back. I think it was that Baker interception. And they went right down the field and scored. Like, easily, too.
Easy.
And that's what championship teams do. They know how to bury other teams. And at that point, like, the Bucs had a shot in a prayer. But I'm telling you, man, like up and down this roster, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top
Yeah,
5 receiver at this point.
yeah,
The running back duo is top. I don't know if there's another better running back
yeah,
duo in the
yeah,
NFL. Jared Goff, man, like all you need to do is be the guy who doesn't turn it over, and even he's playing a little bit better than that.
yeah.
And this defense, man, like you said, they're playing with a swagger. Aiden Hutchinson, I know he's a Michigan dude. He's a fucking beast, man. Like
Relentless. Yeah,
he plays with an edge.
yeah.
CJ Garner-Johnson, we know very well over here, like plays with an edge. So
Whoa,
they
look what ended up for him, baby.
now I thought that too, man. I thought that too, but it's you can tell like that swagger comes from the top too.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that, like that coaching staff. I think even their D coordinator, former cornerback, like watching Hard Knocks a couple of years ago, I remember he's just like a fucking dude. Like he's in your face. He's gonna let you know when you fuck up.
yeah.
And it boils down, man. And they're playing some really, really good football. And it's fun to watch too, especially in that Detroit.
Yeah, shout out to Detroit. Shout out to the fans of Detroit too. Playing just being like we were talking about crowd noises. I was like, I don't know, bro. That Detroit crowd is fucking different too. Like they're it's brand new, but they're definitely going to be here for a while. Like they rock hard. Let's move to the game. I would say the game everyone their eyes was on, the Bills versus Chiefs. Now, I wasn't a part of the conspiracy that like they want T Swift to be in the Super Bowl. Like they like the NFL, the conspiracy out there is the NFL wants Taylor Swift to be in the Super Bowl so that it brings more eyes internationally to the league as they're trying to get more internationally sports and they're trying to get it overseas as well, right? And
Yeah.
I didn't believe it until this game. Until I watched this game and said it's a possibility. But let's not talking about conspiracy theories. I want to ask you a question as an Eagles fan. Were you a little bit upset to see Jason Kelce party so hard for his brother after coming off a loss?
So I thought about that, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, my initial reaction, like, dude, I was dying. Like, I think
Yeah.
Sabrina and I were watching. I was just like, he is the fucking best.
Yeah.
Look, whatever happens, like, we all want him back. But if that's him, like, being happy, enjoying retirement, like, go out and do it. Like, he's rooting for his brother. You can tell he was fucking hammered. Like, he was out, like, tailgating. Yeah, you could tell, like, jumping out into the crowd and, like, picking up the little girl to, like, say hi to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
No hate at all. I think the dude has just been, like, that's who he is. But it was fun. That was funny as shit.
Yeah. Okay. I was watching. I'm like, I don't know, but he's giving you everything you can. Like, I think the city of Philly wants to have a parade just for him. Like at the end of the day. Yeah. So I mean, you give it up.
Tell, like he wasn't somebody who left that game being like, yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Like, the dude's on his podcast crying, debating on if he wants to come back and play for another year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, out of all the dudes who kind of didn't show up and didn't care towards the end of the season, he was as far away from that list as could be. True. So maybe if he was like, if that was AJ Brown, people would probably be like, "Fuck you, dude." But no, Jason Kelce, he could do no wrong.
Okay, I can get down with that. But watching this game, I mean, I know you've been on the hate train for Josh Allen. I mean, this is that game in every which way possible should have been won by the Bills. Like every which way possible, Josh Allen played the best game of his life. Like it's another like it reminds you like when he lost to the Eagles. It's like Josh Allen did everything he could. If I was that, get rid of the coach. Like, switch something up. You have to at this point. Like, you have to get rid of the coach to say, what the fuck else can we do? But I have a hot take, and I'm so fucking, and this goes across the league. I'm so tired of the prima donna, especially wide receivers, talking all this shit, everything on their quarterbacks. But Diggs, you're not making those fucking catches.
I know.
CeeDee Lamb, you're not making those catches. Like, that right there pisses me off more than anything. And then getting up, be like, we're almost there. Make that fucking catch. That's what you get paid for. I mean, how many years in a row do you want to sit there and stand and watch the other team celebrate? Like, you want to be prime time? That's your chance to make that fucking catch and say, I'm the fucking man. Go me up now. I mean, the ball could have been any better. He just blatantly dropped it. He dropped it. And I'm like, there's nothing else, Josh. In my eyes, Josh Allen can do it. It's just like, I think that the football gods just won't let this happen for Buffalo. It won't happen. Like, it just won't happen. I'm sorry, guys. You will not get to the Super Bowl and have a chance to win a Super Bowl ever in your lives with Josh Allen. It just won't happen. And it's just like you just chalk it up to I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what else you want. Like, everyone played the best game. I mean, you had everything going to the Bills' way, right? You had Patrick Mahomes with a chance to go and score. It was like 24-27, the start of the fourth quarter. Go down, about to score at the fucking yard line, fumbles it into the end zone, touchback. Bills have a chance to go down and score now. That score remained the same the entire fourth quarter.
And that was after the Bills fucked up. What in the world are you doing a fake punt
to DeMar
like
Hamlin?
that? To the guy who died last year.
Yeah.
What was it? Was 4th and 5. Look, if you want to go for it, that's fine. But you just said it. You have Josh Allen who's playing out of his mind.
You go with Josh Allen.
Trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah, live and die by your quarterback, not your
100%.
third-string safety on a fake punt, which, bro, it didn't even come close. I don't know if they gained a yard on it.
No, they lost yards. Like it just showed me everything possible. But again, here are the Chiefs. I mean, these are two teams who play like shit all year, bro. These are two teams who have gotten hot at the right moment. But this is, like I said, it's playoff Patty. Playoff Patty's going to play his best ball when the lights are on him, and the Chiefs squeaked it out. I mean, if that kicker, when it happened, I said he's going to miss his kick. And then I was like, nah, there's no. I'm like, he's going to miss his fucking kick.
The announcer jinx too. I literally said it was done because they showed like he's 9 for 9 on field goal attempts within like 45 yards or something. And I was like, there it is. I was like, there's the jinx. Kicks up, not even close. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. But bro, you're right. And this is what I think people held hope for with the Eagles of like, all right, they're the team that made it last year. Bad regular season, throw it away. Like anything can happen in the tournament once you get there. It's playoff Patty. It's also playoff Trav. I mean, 2 touchdowns. Like that dude has not had a good year. He's been banged up all year. The most important game, he's got the 2 touchdowns and like 60, 70 yards.
Yeah.
Like, and look, we say this to Javon if we want to go into the next game or keep talking, but you can't bet against playoff Patty. And it's the same thing you did with Tom Brady. Like you could love the other team that he's playing. If it's in the postseason, you just can't bet it. You can't. And I made that mistake this past week. I had the same thing with Brady back in the day before I was a big Brady fan. I would pick the other team. You know, I like this team better. I'm going to bet them, whatever. You can't do it. And I learned my lesson. I could love the Ravens this week. It's not going to be a lock. It's not going to be a pick. I can't put actual money on it because you can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. But to Josh Allen and the Bills, I think you're completely right. Whether you agree with it or not, Sean McDermott has to leave because something has to change. Like nothing is changing. You're making the playoffs and you're getting beat by your arch nemesis at this point. And again, this was the year for you to do it. You want to talk about the Ravens? Fuck, no Joe Burrow.
Exactly.
You didn't have to see CJ Stroud, and he's still young.
Yeah.
Like you got the worst offense of Patrick Mahomes' career in your house. Finally, it's in your house, and you couldn't get it done. If you don't change anything, like I don't know what else. I don't know what else you can expect other than to go into next year. But I could be petty. I could be really petty and say if Josh Allen just hit the wide open receivers on the 2nd and 3rd down before the field goal attempt, they probably win that game. And not even that, when he missed Diggs on the crossing route, that probably would have went for 15, 20 yards. The throw even was a little bit short because he had to do it in the end zone. Like it might have been the right play. But I don't know, man. I can't hate on Josh Allen after this one. It was an incredible game, and he made the 1 or 2 mistakes at the end of the game that Mahomes just doesn't fucking make. That's the difference.
Now we're in the position, right? Oh, this is the AFC Championship game. Like this is I don't fuck, and I've been saying that all year long of like once it gets to this point, like who do you think wins the Super Bowl? I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. Like this shit of all years, I don't even know what the Super Bowl looks like this year. Like I don't want Detroit in it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want Detroit. I want a great Super Bowl. I mean, for the city, you want it, but for a great game, I don't want it for a good game. I think whoever comes out of the AFC is going to demolish the Detroit if Detroit squeaks one in. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a shitty Super Bowl. I'd rather have a great Super Bowl with like Kansas City versus the Niners. I'd rather that game than a matchup versus Detroit because their luck's going to run out and they're going to get fucking demolished. If it's like that 14-point game, like it's going to be bad.
See, that's what I mean, bro. I don't think the Lions are luck at this point. Like, I think that's what our minds go to because, again, it's Dan Campbell who's weird and he's out there, and it's Jared Goff who literally got traded so his old team could win a Super Bowl, and it's David Montgomery who the Bears didn't win, and it's Jahmyr Gibbs who everybody was like, why the fuck are you drafting a running back in the top 10 whose name isn't Bijan Robinson? But, bro, I'm telling you, these dudes. Like, this is by far the second most talented team in the NFC. Like, the 4 teams that are in it right now should be in it. Let's put it that way. Like, the 2 best teams in the AFC, and it really is the 2 best teams in the NFC. And I think if you go to San Francisco and beat the Niners, that ain't luck. Like, you earn your right to be there. And look,
I think I'm not saying it's luck, but I think it runs out.
It could. It could, but I also don't think – I know Vaughn was telling us like the 2 scores of when they played the Niners, when the Ravens played the Niners and played the line. It's not going to be like that either way. Whatever team you see, it's not going to be like that. But let's just jump in then.
Yeah.
to we'll start with the AFC Championship game
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
we were more talking about the Chiefs. I guess I like what do you do? Because again, we talk about it. It is literally it's Lamar against that Chiefs defense, which I think we should put a little bit more respect on. Like they've been balling out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's Patrick Mahomes. And again, like, yeah, it's Patrick Mahomes, but he's still got no weapons.
Yeah.
Like, do you trust them against the Ravens defense in Baltimore? I don't know, man. But like I said,
You
I don't
can't.
know if you can bet against him.
I would take the Ravens in this game. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take the way Lamar is playing, the way that Ravens defense is playing. Mahomes is going to have to turn into Superman, and then that's why they lose. Like he's going to be
Yeah.
trying to do too much. But you also have to look like it's still playoff P, but it's also Andy Reid, right? You have Andy Reid who knows a way to figure it the fuck out, and he's going to use all his weapons possible. He's going to use his game plan. Like this is a championship game that like I can't wait. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not traveling. I'm going to sit back and just watch this game unfold because it can go either way. It's going to be a great game, but I say the Ravens edge it out strictly off of that pressure they will cause and just how good fucking Lamar is playing, man. And it's like, who knows? It's up in the air, but I'm going with the Ravens.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, and I think it's like I said, like they just look like the better overall team. And what I can see is it kind of coming down to like Mahomes can do all he can do, but will his playmakers make the plays necessary to beat the Ravens in Baltimore against that defense? That I can't trust. I'm not saying I can't trust Mahomes at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can trust Valdez, Scantling. I don't even know who their other receivers are anymore.
Yeah.
If you could kind of lock down, like Baltimore's got the best linebackers in the league. If you can limit Travis Kelce, like where else do you go? And I don't know if I trust that. And it just feels like this is the Ravens' year to get there. And again, hopefully they do finish it, but I'm not going to bet it, but I'll take the Ravens.
But my thing is, the reason you saw Travis Kelce have such a fucking great game was he was being covered by linebackers all game long.
That's what I'm saying.
But this is a Ravens linebacker crew who can cover Kelce.
Yes,
who can cover him.
Bills were on like they were bringing in linebackers from the practice squad. Like they had 3-4 guys injured. So not only being covered by average linebackers, like they were being covered by dudes that were making their first starts. That's not the Ravens. So it's tough for me to see them winning. The Chiefs, that is, but fuck, man, just when you think.
Yeah, you're right. You're completely right. We'll see what plays out. Then let's look at the NFC Championship. What a fucking weird championship it's going to be. Niners versus Lions. Fuck, man. I think no matter what, I'm edging the 49ers. The only concern I have again is that defense. How would Brock Purdy handle against that defense? I think that no matter what, I think it's just too big of a game for Detroit right now. I think that the Niners have been in this position. They've been here before. Brock Purdy hasn't, and that's the only way you win that game. Go up strong. Get the ball first. Win the coin toss, get the ball first. Go down the field and fucking score right away. But again, we're neglecting that 49ers defense is still the truth.
I was just about to, well,
I'm saying that's still a 49ers team. That's still the truth. You still have Fred Warner, Bosa. You still have these guys that are out there who are going to fucking ball out.
Is Bosa playing? Because I didn't see him at all on fucking Saturday. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen Chase Young. I forgot he got traded there.
Yeah.
Like I'm almost in the opposite. Like all I've been hearing about the Niners was their secondary is not good. And the reason they can kind of forget about that is because the linebacker play and the defensive front.
Yeah.
Bro, Aaron Jones ran up and down. Like you're now seeing David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, what do you think they're gonna do?
But Aaron Jones is a fucking animal now. Like he's on a different strategy right now. Yeah.
Yeah, he is, but that's like so are the Lions running backs. And the Lions offensive line, I think, is a lot better than the Packers. Lions may have the best line in the league. Yeah. And I know they got banged up a little bit against the Bucs, but you look at this Lions team, and I really thought about this because you're right. Initially, it felt like it's probably the Niners. They're better at every position group, probably except for quarterback.
Yeah.
Then you dive in a little bit more. Like, especially if Debo doesn't play, give me the Lions receiving core. Like Sam Laporta has been the best tight end in the league this year.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is better than the Niners. That defensive line is playing with their heads on fire. And the defensive secondary, who is a big problem for them, they're balling out. Like they just saw Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Yeah,
like nothing that they saw and Baker Mayfield, like nothing they saw from the previous week is going to surprise them now with the Niners. Mm-hmm. And again, we talk about Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy in these big games. Like who do you trust more it almost goes back to when we were talking about, sorry to bring it up, the Ohio State-Michigan game, when I told you, look, the only real difference for me is I have to trust J.J. McCarthy over Kyle McCord.
Yeah.
This is almost the same thing. Like, I have to trust Jared Goff, who's made it to a Super Bowl already with a
That's
different
true.
team,
Yeah.
over Brock Purdy.
Mhm.
And Purdy may not make the interception play like we're often seeing from these quarterbacks,
Yeah.
but he's shown us he may not make the 1 or 2 plays. He may not
Yeah.
turn it over, but he may turn over on downs. He
Yeah,
may
that's
help
true.
you with a 3 and out.
Mhm.
And look, man, it's clear if Debo isn't playing, or even if he is, if I'm the Lions, fucking tackle, get 23 at all costs.
Yeah.
Triple him if you have to.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you have to force Brock Purdy to win that
Yeah.
game.
Mhm.
And I think the Lions are good enough that they can get up and they won't make the mistakes that the Packers made. I'm taking the Lions. I think the Niners know the pressure's all on them too. Like, this kind of
Yeah.
feels like
That's
we
true.
talked the Packers were playing with a little bit of house money. The Niners know, and Brock Purdy, mind you, he knows I have the best roster in the league, like by far. If I
Mhm.
fuck this up, I might be gone.
Yeah,
And
facts.
when you got the pressure, man, like, these guys act a little bit different.
Yeah. I can see go either way. I'm just probably thinking of I'm fast forward to Super Bowl of like what type of Super Bowl do I want to see, and I don't want to see. I don't want to choose Detroit in there because I'm telling you right now it's gonna be a bloodbath. Like
No,
Lamar,
I don't think it will be, bro. I don't.
I'm telling you, brother. Like we'll put a bet on that one. Like that the spread it's gonna be like plus 14 at the end of the game. Like,
well, we already know the script is out with that logo. Like, we already know it's Ravens 9.
Yeah, that always happens. But hey, it's gonna be awesome. When do they play? Is it all on Sunday or is it
Sunday? Yeah,
all
Sunday.
Okay.
I think 3 or 3:30 is the AFC,
Okay,
and then 6 or 6:30 is the NFC.
Okay, hey, I'm excited. I mean, it's good. It's good postseason football, man. That's all I can ask for. That's all that matters. To end it off, I want to speak about Caitlin Clark. So we've all seen the film of, oh my God, Ohio State upsetting Iowa in the women's college basketball. At the end of the game, the fans rushed the field, and you see Caitlin Clark run into a female fan who is holding their phone up, and she runs into her and does a whole like somersault, plays it out like she's injured, hurts, and gets up. She goes into the press conference and says, like, I take full blame. Like, of course, let them run the field, but just protect the players. If you and now I see people saying, like, if of course it's in slow motion, you see that she like it looks that bad. No, Caitlin, this is a girl who legit has her phone to her face, is running. You're looking dead at her. Like, you're looking dead straight. You're not looking down. You're looking dead at her. Run to her and flare your arms out and truck her. And then flop. She's a flop. Fuck you for that, Caitlin. Like, fuck you. You fucking lost. Take your fucking loss and don't make another fucking story out of the loss. Just get the fuck off the court. Don't try to put it on Ohio State. Don't try to remiss you just got your ass kicked by Ohio State. You got upset it. Like, fuck you for that. Like, that shit pissed me off more than anything in the world to see that fucking flop. Like, fuck that, man.
Yeah. I don't even know what the score of the game was.
No.
Because, like, you're right. This was the story. And when you even saw the one angle, it was pretty clear that it was one girl. Like, it wasn't a group of people that this girl, like, got pushed into Caitlin Clark. Like, it was one girl with a center focus. You knew where she was running. Like, there's a group of fucking people celebrating, and Caitlin Clark literally ran right into her.
Yeah.
Right into her.
And then plays the hurt.
Yeah, and then plays hurt. And you're right. Is it to kind of shave the narrative of, like, oh, we just lost, like, we got upset and blah, blah. Like, I don't know. That was a crazy, crazy situation.
Yeah.
Because it was clear she ran right into the fucking poor girl.
Right, like fuck you, bro. Like that was.
You could have gone anywhere else. Like, the rest of the area was wide open. It was wide open. Like, it wasn't a group of fans where she had to go straight.
No.
Or there was no room to her left, bro. Like, there was nobody in the same camera angle as this girl running onto the court.
No, that's why it's complete bullshit. And I want to know if the locker room was that way or if she had to still go back this way. Because that's what I want to know. I wonder which way the locker room was for her. Like, I'm going to look into that as well. Because if her locker room was that way, or by all means, like, or whatever. But if her locker room was still, like, the back way, she was, like, running this way to turn. Like, fuck you, bro. Like, I don't want to hear no bullshit. Like, you took that girl, and you wanted the narrative change. Like, fuck you, whatever.
Exactly.
Like, she's a sore loser. She is known to be a sore fucking loser, which I get. But, like, that's some sore loser shit, bro.
That's bad.
Fucking so sore. Because now you're trying to put it on that Ohio State girl of, like, she could have possibly ended my career. That, like, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut up. Like, that's bullshit, bro. Like, if that was LeBron, everyone would say that's bullshit. So I don't want to hear that. And then we're starting on basketball. Embiid goes out, gets his 70 points. I mean, you look at the score, you're like, no shit, he scored 70, but it still is fucking crazy to see.
Hell yeah.
him go out there. So what did it feel like being a Sixers fan? Were you watching the whole game?
Yeah, I was. So
it's a big game for San Antonio.
Yeah. So that was the game like against Wembanyama, like the prodigy against the best player in the world right now. And I think Embiid had 24 in the first quarter.
Okay.
And he might have had like, I don't know, 35, 36 at half. And as he's doing that, the game's still relatively close. You're like, this might be like something special. Like it felt to me watching that game, something special kind of like it's happening.
Okay.
And as the broadcast is continuing, they dropped it was the 18th anniversary of when Kobe dropped 81 against the Raptors. And it was just like, fuck, man, like you knew that feeling. Joel Embiid right now, and has been in my eyes, the best offensive player in the NBA. Okay. Like if you watch that game or just watch it back, there's nothing the Spurs could do.
Yeah.
And it's automatic. He's automatic from mid range. He's backing Wembanyama down easily. He's hitting fadeaway threes. Like he does this on a regular basis. So as the game kind of continued to go on and on and on, you're like, wait, he's gonna fucking get it. Like you're kind of just searching for his career high. Like he's never gotten 60 before. So in the fourth quarter, he came in with probably 6 or 7 minutes left, and he got the 60. And it's like, all right, awesome. And you look at the clock, you're like, there's 5 minutes left.
Yeah,
like they can't stop him. Like in the next 5 minutes, he should be able to score 10 points in a blink. And then it was 62, and then 65, and then 66. Now you're thinking Wilt Chamberlain's Sixer record. And now you're thinking, is he going to get fucking 70? And it was funny because the game, how it was going, you knew they were forcing it to him. Like nobody else was going to touch a fucking ball. I think he passed it twice. He passed it out one time to a dude in the corner who shot and missed. The crowd booed the guy. Everyone's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
But he's the best player in the world, man. It was definitely really special to see. And I was even texting like Jack, my brother, about it. And he was like, dude, I just can't fully buy into the Sixers because I know what's going to happen. Come the second round,
that's what's going to happen. Is he the playoff Dak?
No, I like to think of more of like what Javon said. He's the Lamar. Like he's got to prove it. But regardless,
he has to prove it. Yeah, he definitely has to prove a lot this year.
He does. Yeah. But I was saying, like, regardless on that, worry about the playoffs when the playoffs come. You have to. What we're seeing from a 7'2" big man, you are never going to see again.
No.
And maybe ever in the Sixers uniform. I've been saying for years, this is the most talented dude to ever wear a Sixers uniform. I've been saying it for 3-4 years. That was before the MVP races.
Over AI, you crazy?
Yeah, exactly.
You're crazy.
Exactly. That's how you know. So, look, man, it's like just enjoy it. Like if you're a casual basketball fan, if you're a Sixers fan, like whatever, like you got to enjoy this regular season. Worry about the playoffs then. But what we're seeing from him is you're never going to see it again from a dude this size.
Yeah, but Liam, you're falling into the hype, the Sixers hype of possibly what could happen in the playoffs. If you don't get that one additional guy, if you don't go pick something up, it's going to be the same thing that happened last year in the playoffs. You still need that weapon. Don't get blinded by what the fuck is going on now.
I'm not saying with the team. I'm not saying enjoy the team. I'm saying enjoy Joel Embiid. Like the team, I have a better feeling for them, and I have because the coach, like how I felt about Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
So they actually have a coach for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
And like whatever happens, I do have a little bit more confidence than I did last year going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But regardless of the team, like enjoy Joel Embiid. That's what I'm saying. Like because you're not going to get him ever again.
Yeah, I just think you have to go out and get that other weapon because it's going to be the same thing that happened to you guys before. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is amazing to see. Like 70 is fucking humongous, especially as a big man like that. To get 70 is kind of wild in today's game. But again, you got to go out there. You got to go get another guy for him in the playoffs, and then we could see what the fuck the playoffs really look like. Because at this point, you get blinded by Embiid's playing amazing. We're playing amazing basketball, not to beat Boston, not to go up against Boston in the playoffs. So like, you got to figure that the fuck out. And that's the one thing I could say. Sixers fans, put that pressure still on them till we still need more weapons.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
I think
I agree with you though.
That was kind of the feeling too of like texting my other buddies about it. Like my one buddy texted me, he's like, fuck, dude, like they're bringing us back in. Like we know it's wrong. We know it's wrong to be brought back in because you're right. In playoff basketball, the court shrinks, the bench shrinks. Like you're seeing more doubles and triples. You're seeing things that you're not going to see all year long. Like coaches aren't going to give away their defensive schemes or offensive plays during the course of the year. Sure. And that is where I have more confidence because this is the best passer I've ever seen from Joel Embiid. And this is the best coach that actually is going to be able to scheme up different plays when the original 4 or 5 aren't working for you. He's going to be able to come and mix some things up. And again, I'm not going to get myself excited about it, but like he probably will not win MVP again because the NBA has that new rule of you can't miss, I think it's like 15 games. And because his foot was banged up and we are looking towards the playoffs, we rested him a couple more games. So I think he's already missed 11. I don't, so he's not going to be eligible to win it. But I'm telling you, man, like this dude he's a freak. Like he's a literal freak, and he's a lot of fun to watch.
Agreed. Hey, we gotta get to a game. We've been saying that for a while. We gotta get to it until it gets too crazy.
Yeah.
Any last words, brother?
No, I think I'm looking forward to a Lions Ravens Super Bowl and Joel Embiid to keep it going.
Yes, sir. I'm here for it. Let's just hope for good football. I want a good Super Bowl, man. I'm tired of bad Super Bowls. But hey, guys, make sure you go subscribe now. Hit that subscribe button for us. We just hit 200. We've worked crazy hard, but putting out these clips, getting everything made. I'm up till 2 a.m. every night editing, do what I gotta do to get this going. So make sure you hit that subscribe button for your boy. Follow us on Instagram at WeTrust_podcast. Listen on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music as well. And follow Liam on the Instagram at
Liam Stokes 11.
Trust up, guys.
All right. Thanks, Lee.